Please excuse, I look crazy. This is a very simple vlog, okay? Just gonna take you through my day. It's a work day. I'm gonna do Pilates, we're gonna read, we're gonna finish Daisy Jones the 6. I'm gonna talk about what I've read in January. It's gonna be pretty simple, so I'm gonna take you guys along. I'm gonna get changed. I'm gonna do my daily Bible Devo recap stuff, and I hope you guys enjoy. Okay, let's get up. Let's get changed. I might lie down another like 10 minutes. I made a yogurt bowl. Yogurt bowls are my go-to because they're so easy, and if I have like 4 or 5 go-to breakfast things, then I'll eat. But if I don't have those, I probably won't eat. So, yeah. Hello, I just got my coffee. I hope I don't get like palpitations or anything. I had breakfast, I did my Bible pages, which I think I'll probably need to go over again tonight, which I feel like could be a good structure, like doing it in the morning and at night if you feel like you need to go over it. But for some reason while I was filming it, like whenever I film stuff like that, I'm like, I need to hurry up because I just get scared that my phone is gonna run out of storage, which is silly. But anyways, I did read it, but I just felt kind of rushed in the back of my mind. So I'll probably read it again tonight and then listen to the podcast to go along with it. A handy little book for it as opposed to always listening to the podcast, just because I feel like sometimes I read better and ingest information better when I'm reading it rather than just listening to it in my ears, because I'll get sidetracked. But yeah, I have my coffee. I tried a cookie butter creamer. It's not bad. It kind of tastes like Biscoff, which is good. And it's not as sweet as the last dairy-free creamer I tried, so that's also good. What else is new with me? Well, this is my second week of my job, so I'm not super busy. I do have to look over some things. My calls start around 10, and before that, I'm just gonna be looking over some stuff. And I managed to listen to 30 minutes of Daisy Jones and the Six this morning before getting started with work. So I'm like almost done. I'm hoping I can finish it by today. And then that's really it. I think I'll just finish that, and then at lunch, go to Pilates. Work's been good, and trying to kind of find a flow with how I make content now that I'm working. And so I've realized for me, for a good while I can manage it, probably a good flow is going to be those kinds of videos that I can just make in a day, like whether it's a day doing this, a day doing that, a day of reading, like it just, I think fits in better, but I'm still figuring that out. It's going to take some time. I watched the TV show for Daisy Jones and the Six before reading the book. I watched the TV show twice, and I absolutely love the TV show. So I feel like that might be swaying my rating a bit. Right now, this is only sitting at like a 3.25, which is crazy, because I know that this is like the highest Taylor Jenkins Reid book. Carrie Soto is Back is my favorite. So we'll go over the books that I read later. I feel like going back to the Bible recap, that's been super good for me. It's just been really like grounding every day to do that. And I love how it's just focused on scripture. So it's not focused on like self-help or how can you do better, how can you be better, what can you do. It's just focused on scripture, and I'm like, wow, mind is being blown. I felt like I tried to do that a few years ago, or I heard people talking about it a few years ago. I don't know why, but it sounded boring to me. But now that I'm in the nitty gritty and I'm in the flow and I've been consistent with it every single day, I could seriously see myself finishing it for the year. It's only January, about to be February, but I could seriously see myself finishing it. And I really like it. I don't know. Sometimes I find that I'm still lost and I have to just listen to the podcast and I'm like, okay, great. Rather than really being like, no, let me understand the scripture first and then listen to the podcast and see what else I can take from it. But sometimes I just lean on those podcasts. That's all I got to talk about for right now. Oh, and my friend is starting a book club. I probably have chia seeds in my teeth. Okay. My friend is starting a book club late February, and she let me choose the first book. So I've chosen the first book. We're going to be reading tomorrow. I feel like that was the best option for everybody. Beautiful cover, highly rated. I feel like the genre, there could be something in it for everybody. And it was one that I feel like is a good book club pick because I didn't really want to read it alone. But now that I'll be reading with other people, I feel like I can do it. I will probably make videos leading up to book club or at her book club. I don't know. I just feel like that will be cute. I already told her that. I wanted to make a video out of it some way, somehow. Alrighty, I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Probably when we go to Pilates. Yeah. Even though I know it's gonna happen, the way that she writes makes me cry. She wasn't in this whole book. a call in 5 minutes. It's the email page. Okay, I'm done. Oh, damn it. Okay, so we meet again in the same spot. Got my reading journal out, so now I want to briefly talk about the books that I read in January. I think I'm just going to do a really brief, like, what I read and what I rated it. And then if there's, like, any really strong opinions that I have, I might call it out. But I don't feel the need to do, like, a in-depth one, like an in-depth rating or explanation every single month. Like, I'll do it most months, but I feel like sometimes it can be a little bit quicker. That's what I'm just gonna do this month in this vlog. I've got my reading journal updated. I'm not gonna show it because it's kind of looking whack. But the first book that I read in January, the first book that I finished like on January 1st, I think it took me like 2-3 days to read, was Carrie Soto's Back, and I gave it a 5 stars. I think so far that has been my favorite Taylor Jenkins Reid book ever. It was just so cinematic, and I felt like the main character. And I feel like when you feel like you are the main character and you're like embodying their personality and their vibe, it's just so fun. There were so many like great playlists that went along with the book too. So I just felt super immersed, and I was like, yo, can this be a movie? But also, can it not? Like, I just felt transported. Like, I was like, can I just be there? Can I watch her play? But also, can I be her and play in the stadiums? So anyways, 5 stars. The next book that I DNF'd at like 70% was The Storied Life of A.J. Fikry. I've been hearing a lot of people say good things about this book lately, and I think it's been out for a while. It's by the same author who does Tomorrow, Tomorrow, and Tomorrow, Gabrielle Zevin. And honestly, I didn't really understand the hype of this book. I think when it comes to like slow, heartwarming stories, I don't know that those are for me. I just felt like it was a little too slow, and I didn't really connect to anything going on. And I thought, even though it was about books, I just didn't really feel like I connected or thought it was cute or thought it was like that cozy. Like it was, just wasn't enough to keep me there and keep me interested. When I got to 70%, I was just like skimming the end basically. And the next thing I read was None of This Is True by, is it Lisa Jewell? I gave that a 3.5 or 5 stars. I can't remember. I gave it a 3.75. I was really liking this book, and then I think the lowering in rating really just had to do with the ending. The ending was not my fave, but I would recommend. I thought it was worth the read. There could have been so many different endings that were a lot better than the one she went with. And then I was reading Gentle and Lowly. I pretty much finished it, but I still have a few chapters to go. But this is one that it's just taken me time, and already it like expired on my Libby, and then I had to re-get it. So anyways, I have it again, but basically I'll probably finish it in the next few days. It just takes time since it's nonfiction, and in a way it was almost boring, but at the same time it was really interesting. I don't know how to explain that. Maybe the writing is what's boring and kind of gets me like unfocused or a little confused, but the topics I find really fascinating, and just like I feel like I need to hear them. They're really good. So yeah, that's a Christian nonfiction book. And then Daisy Hates, I gave a 4.25 stars. If you want to know my full like thoughts and explanations, I'm not going to talk about it here. Just definitely watch the video I made before this, because I really get into it there. But I really liked it, and I actually just ordered the box set of the original Magnolia Parks covers. I've never done something like that or spent that much money on something just to have it. But the other 2 books in that 4 box set I need to read, and then obviously I would need to read the last one and buy that one. So I just would want to have the original covers, I suppose. And then I DNF'd The Lost Ticket at like 20%. Again, I think this is one of those like cozy, heartwarming reads that I just don't really vibe with very well. They just lose my attention, I think. The audiobook narrators were not doing it for me. It felt like I was listening to like an older person lecturing, like in college. Why do I sound like Moira Rose? Lecturing.
lecturing in college, like lecturing at school, and it wasn't for me. And then I thought, well, let me read it on my ebook on my Kindle. And then I was like, do I want to? The idea of it is feeling like a chore. And so I was like, scratch that. If it's feeling like a chore, let's maybe stop. And the last thing that I just finished today earlier that you saw in the vlog was Daisy Jones and the Six. I gave it a 3.5. And obviously I feel like that's a little bit of a lower rating than I expected, but it's probably because I watched the show for Daisy Jones and the Six 2 times before actually reading the book, and I loved the show. Absolutely in love with the show. And I did watch, like, for example, I think Destiny Sidwell did like a whole with spoilers video of her rereading Daisy Jones and the Six. So I knew a lot of like powerful quotes. I had read the end too before I started the whole book. So I think my experience going into it, I didn't set myself up for it very well, but at the same time, when I was watching the show for Daisy Jones and the Six, I wasn't ready to read it at that point. Like, I had just wanted to watch the show, so no big deal there. But yeah, that's everything I read for January. That's 7 books, 6 if we're not counting The Lost Ticket, which I'm not, because I think I'll only count books that I DNF'd up to 50%, because 50% is a lot. So if it's under 50%, especially if it's like something small, like 20, 30, I just don't think I'm gonna count it, because I can't give it a rating. I don't know what I'd rate it. But yeah, Gentle and Lowly, I could definitely know what I'd rate it. It would be like a 4, because I've read pretty much all of it. And then, for example, like The Storied Life of AJ Fikry, I read like 70% of it. And I skimmed the rest, and I just kind of knew I was feeling a 2-star. So anyways, that's what I read in January. I think I'm just gonna finish up work or whatever I kind of have to do, like on my computer. I was invited to a work outing, but it was like an hour away, and it was very last minute. And one of my things for this year that I wanted to accomplish, like as a goal, is to just socialize more with like coworkers and things like that. So I was kind of bummed that it was an hour away, because I'm gonna be really tired, like really tired if I do that. I've been trying to go to sleep earlier, and also it was just last minute. So I said to keep me in the loop for the next one, but I felt kind of bad about that, because I was like, dang, it would have been fun. But I think I'm probably just gonna finish up work and vibe. I might finish Schitt's Creek. I think I'm like on season 2 of my rewatch, so that's what I'm gonna be up to today. Okay, I don't know what that was. Why do I resort to the peace signs?